Record 40-plus Black trans women killed in the United States, including South Florida's Royal Poetical Starz. Black transgender woman Royal Poetical Starz, 26, was shot to death on October 2nd in Miami Gardens, Florida. She is one of at least 40 trans, non-binary, and gender-nonconforming people known to have died by violence in the United States this year, approaching 2020's record total of 44. Many more deaths undoubtedly go unreported or misreported. Starz, who lived in nearby Pompano Beach, was shot inside her Hummer in a residential area of Miami Gardens, South Florida Gay News reports. Police whose report misgendered and dead-named her have released few details, but her friend Sandy T. Fox told the publication she was shot 20 times, including in the face. The crime occurred about 11:30 a.m. Starz, who was widowed 2 years ago, was struggling financially. Fox said she worked as a masseuse and had recently received a business degree from a vocational school. She was also a singer. Tori Cooper, director of community engagement for the Human Rights Campaign's Transgender Justice Initiative, commented the case as well. In a press release, Cooper said, quote, "Royal Starz was shot in broad daylight in her own car. She changed her name legally, but the police still misgendered her. Too often, transgender people are denied basic humanity, even in death. Stories like these are an indictment of our society's continued devaluation of Black trans lives. Royal deserved to live and pursue her dreams, but she became yet another victim of the horrific epidemic of violence against trans and non-binary people," end quote.
I would just like to hit a point that you hit in your story, but just to reiterate it. Let's just say her name, Royal Poetical Starz. That's her name, Royal Poetical Starz. And I just keep saying it because the people who investigated her death did not say it. They never said it. So when we talk about this, every time we should just say her name for her family, for her loved ones, Royal Poetical Starz.
I agree with you. I think they reported it as a Black male was murdered. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to get emotional, but I have a niece who's transgendered, and she's 26 years old, and she's in San Diego. And I live with this fear. You know, I try to preach to her.
It must hit very close to home.
It hits extremely close to home, you know, and I always tell her, travel in a pack. You know, always watch your back. Not everybody is as appreciative of who you are and your beauty as your family and your friends. And this is we have to keep saying our name.
You're absolutely right. But you know what's sad about that, Sarah, is that for a lot of the times, this violence against our Black and brown trans women are done domestically. It's done by someone that they know and love, and that is also something that goes unreported many, many times. You know, I hope that they find who did this. You know, I mean, think about it. 11 a.m., broad daylight in sunny South Florida. She was shot down, not once or twice, but 20 times, including in the face.
Yeah, that's definitely a hate crime when it gets that violent. And I agree with you. I think that a lot of times women and men, we're just afraid to go to the police. You know, we're afraid to get that partner or that person in trouble.
I'm curious to all of you. Don't you think what we watch at Fox News, Tucker and Laura, in terms of what they propel on gender identification against the trans community, that it's like blowing a dog whistle to say that they're not only not human, but they can be disposed of as not being human, and that increases violence. Do you think that that's partially what we're seeing? The numbers are growing every year. Last year we reported, I can't believe we're already to the point where we're on the verge of exceeding last year. Don't you think that's what's happening?
I agree. Al, this is very sad. I think I've talked to many transgender women, and they'd rather go through the danger of risking their lives than calling 911. It's terrible because they're so afraid. They're so afraid to call. They're not going to be helped. They feel they're not being helped. They feel they're being abused. They feel that, yes, misgendered, they're dead named. They don't know who they are. It takes them hours. The whole process when they are jailed. I mean, the whole thing. So
humiliating.
It's just horrible to hear this. And I wake up every morning, and the only thing I wish I didn't see on my social media is anything about a transgender person being killed.
Yeah.
Because it's just
because
so
it's just
many.
hatred.
Oh, and it's awful.
many.
You know, we also have PTSD from the Trump administration, and he allowed it to be okay to hate. You know, then you throw on top he gave permission to hate. He said it was okay, Al, to dislike folks and to things that you didn't understand. So let's do the Fox News team, Donald Trump and Dave Chappelle telling people that transgender women, you know, are violent and dangerous, and someone goes out there with a gun and shoots them.
You're just giving them permission.
Giving them permission. Thank you,
Absolutely.
Sarah.
You know, I just say for disclosure, Tori Cooper is one of America's leading voices in the trans community and transgender rights for the HRC. I'm interviewing her tomorrow.
Oh, cool.
Tori Cooper is now been selected at the White House to represent the White House on a variety of issues, leading in HIV. And so I'm looking forward to that, and we for sure will discuss.
That's excellent.
Repeat the name for me one more time.
Royal Poetical Starz.
We for sure, with Tori Cooper, will discuss her name. The other thing that I would tell you is, you know, from my seat, the best I can do is step up in advocacy. I encourage you to tune in to Translation. We do a show that is a talk show that is hosted by trans people to help educate the rest of the broad community. And I suggest that you tune into Translation because it is really quite amazing. And in conjunction with that, I do a shameless plug, but it's a valuable plug. On November 18th, this network and Hotspots Magazine will host the National Trans Town Hall in the Sunshine Cathedral. It will be broadcast to the nation live. Lots of entertainers, spoken word poetry, musicians, speakers, and you have the ability to participate in the National Trans Town Hall. And it will also celebrate, and celebrate is the wrong word, it will also commemorate the International Day of Transgender Remembrance, which is specifically this issue of the horrific number of especially Black trans women that have been killed in America. Please tune in November 18th. It will start at 7 p.m. Eastern live. It's going to be a beautiful event, and it's going to do the best we can from lesbians and Latinos and gay men and our straight community to lift up our trans community, November 18th.
LGBTQ+ news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Laura are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out television network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBTQ+ community.